Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Muhammad AZRAF bin AIDIL. So today, me and my group mates, Muhammad HAFIZ bin Muhammad FAUZI, FAIZ IKHWAN bin SUHAIMI, HAZIQ HILMI bin AZMI, and Muhammad ANAQI bin SAHARUDDin will present to you about our case study, which is inventory control at wheel coach industry. Wheel coach industry is the largest manufacturer of ambulance and rescue vehicle. The subsidiary of Collin Industry, which is the coach industry, was found in 1975 and is currently based in the Winter Park, Florida. Over 350 highly skilled production team members are employed by the wheel coach under the direction of its president, Bob Collins Jr., and are in charge of assembling and finishing all ambulance at their production plant. Apart of that, Wilcox was an industry that designed the first van-type ambulance. Wilcox Industry boasts several designs to meet the needs of their customers and prides itself on meeting their delivery deadlines. On average, the company rolled out 20 vehicles per week off their assembly line. Throughout these case studies, we found out there are several problems that have been stated in the article given. First of all, the main problem that has been stated by the President is about inventory control, which he said controlling inventory is one of the wheel coach toughest problems. The management is working with a strategy of mass customization and responsiveness and is aware that success depends on strict inventory management. Every ambulance that wheel coach industry make costs about 50% more than it originally estimated, which is a large proportion of that 50% is in chassis, which is purchased from Ford, aluminium, which is from Reynolds Metal, and plywood used for flooring and cabinetry construction, which is from local suppliers. As the President Bob Collins mentioned in the article, cycle counting in our stockroom is very critical. No part can leave the locked stockrooms without appearing on a bill of materials. So, it is clear that they have a problem on cycle and ABC techniques managing inventory. Lastly, the BOM, bills of materials. To estimate costs and produce a competitive proposal, accurate BOMs are very crucial. From the problems stated, we found out that the problems are related to our topics in subject industrial management. In chapter 6, which is about managing inventory, such as classification of inventory items, ABC techniques, the accuracy of inventory records, maintenance, cycle counting techniques, and also control of inventories.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad bin AZMI and I will explain about the workflow to build an ambulance. So the workflow will start with preparing information about the ambulance have been received. So the information such as the dimension and also the raw material. The first process is building body shell. So the first point is structural component of the ambulance body. So the components such as supporting trunk, braces and bracket for the floor, sides and roof. The next is interior skin pieces and fabricate. So the fabricated will be using a sheet metal shop tools and the fastener will be using a mechanical fastener. The third point is outside body shell was cleaned, sanded and spray painted with primer, and after that the sealer will be applied to make the painted last long. So after the first process finished, the quality checking will be applied. So if it reject, we must do it again, and if it accept, we will next to the next process. So the next process is preparing cab and chassis. Additional wiring is added to for the siren, for the light, and also for the heater and air conditioner system. So drill hole, the next is drill hole in vehicle frame drill will be applied to make the support to ambulance body. After that, the quality checking also will be applied. If it reject, we must do it again. If it accept, we next to the next process. The next process is mounting body. The painted body shell is lowered at the mounting chassis mounting bracket. The next is it will install front and rear bumper. So any vehicle will do it the same for the ambulance also they had a bumper. So the next is quality checking also will be applied, and if they reject we must do it again. If we accept, we next to the next process. The last list, the last process, finishing the body. So they will install electrical wiring in the body, wall and ceiling. It will apply for the thermal and noise insulation, and also just for the light, for the light also. Next is oxygen piping installed. This is part for the patient life support system. So any equipment for the medical will be installed in the ambulance. So they will install interior component such as cabinet, wall and ceiling. So they will ambulance to be the one ambulance, and after it done, the ambulance will be released to the customer. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is MUHAMAD ANAQI bin SAHARUDDIN, and my matric number is 2020-452676. How will coach implemented ABC analysis? So will coach implemented ABC analysis by identifying the annual use of high value items that classifying it as A class. So they represent some 15% items of the total inventory, which is the 50% is the product, and 70 to 80% of total cost, which is the profit. So the B class is the B items are those items that are medium value that represent 30% of the item's product and 15 to 25% of the value of the profit. The low value items are called class C, which represents 5% of the annual value volume, which is the profit, and about 55% of the product total items.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am FAIZ bin SUHAIMI. My matrix number is 2020884838. So now we'll move to the next question, which is, if you were to take over as inventory control manager at Wilcoach, what additional policies and techniques would you initiate to ensure accurate inventory records? The inventory control manager at Wilcoach not only would want to have ABC analysis, but would implement tight physical control and good organization of the stockroom. For example, set up stockroom guidelines, set up warehouse KPIs, and assign your team members stockroom responsibilities. We will also implement a cycle counting system. This method also saves time while helping us improve current inventory management systems and helps businesses schedule and deliver product reliably. Cycle counting is an inventory control method that lets businesses conduct a regular count of several items in different areas in a warehouse without constantly adding up the entire inventory. We will also ensure that issues require engineering change notices for those items not initially included on the bill of material. To the extent feasible, stock rooms would be consolidated.
So the third question is, how will you go about implementing these suggestions from the second question? So the answer is, if I am to take over as an inventory control manager at Wilcoach, I will implement these changes. The first one is effective leadership. Second is hiring and training of cycle counters. Third is effective training. And last one is give education all staff, which mean staff from engineering through cycle counters, so that each understands the entire system and the importance of maintaining accurate inventory. We will also want to assure that all concerned employees understand the importance of accurate inventory records, tight inventory control, and locked stock rooms. Management would have to exhibit the proper leadership and support of the entire system, including accurate bills of material, which is a BOM, rapid issuing of ECNs. The ECN stands for Engineering Change Notice, which a document that begins the process of making adaptation or corrections during a product's life cycle, training budgets, and so on. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad HAFIZ and FAUZI, and I will be presenting the cost involved in our case study. So our case study involves a company named Will Coach, which manufacture ambulance and is a giant company amongst its competitors. The inventory model cost can be divided into three categories, which is holding, ordering, and setup. Holding is the cost of carrying for holding inventory, such as insurance, extra staffing, as well as interest. It involves the warehouse. Whereas the ordering is when order is manufactured, such as the cost of clerical support, order processing and purchasing. And last one is the setup, where it prepare machine or process, such as labor and time cost. The cost involved in the wheel coach can be categorized as two, which is ordering cost and holding cost. This is due to the capacity of inventory reported, where wheel coach use 18,000 different inventory items, in which 6,000 of them are manufactured and 12,000 are purchased. From this info, we can categorize two of the costs that can be involved in the wheel coach manufacturing the ambulance. So first, the ordering cost. The ordering cost can be involved due to 6,000 items that are manufactured, especially during the ABC analysis. The A part, which is the chassis, aluminum, and plywood. The chassis is manufactured at Ford. Aluminum and plywood also ordered at the outer manufacturer. So next one is the holding cost. The holding costs are due to the inventory holding that are needed due to its cycle counting method they use. Since they are using the cycle counting method, they need a warehouse to store their parts so that they can get ready to assemble their ambulance. Next, the cost that can be minimized is holding costs as well as manufacturer costs. Costs can be minimized if a good MRP is developed. The wheel coach reported that 30% of its inventory have been reduced in 2 years, which can mean that the holding costs and the manufacturing costs have been reduced. Since the inventory have reduced, the holding costs become less, as lesser items are needed to store in the warehouse. Whereas the good MRP that the wheel coach provided can minimize the manufacturing cost. It is important to have a good planning which are able to determine the accurate amount of inventory that are needed to be manufactured. I think that's all from me. Thank you.